In headline-grabbing news, World Athletics has banned transgender female athletes from competing in the female category at international events. So for quite some time now, there's been a raging debate for trans females competing in female events, particularly if they've been through male puberty, having been born male, and then going on to compete in women's events. But just a few minutes ago, the BBC reports that the governing body's president, Lord Coe, said that no female transgender athlete who'd gone through male puberty would be permitted to compete in world female ranking competitions from the 31st of March. Going on to say that a working group will be set up to conduct further research into the transgender eligibility guidelines, and we're not saying no forever, he said. Rather adding that he was guided by the overarching principle which is set to protect the female category. Reading from the BBC article, the World Athletics also voted to reduce the amount of blood testosterone permitted for athletes with differences in sex development. Furthermore, athletes will be required to reduce their blood testosterone level to below 2.5 nanomoles per litre, not that I pretend to understand what that means, down from 5, so halving it, in other words, and must remain under this threshold for 2 years in order to compete internationally in the female category in any event. And this is just the latest piece of news in a multitude of debates around gender and gender identity. You may recall a video I did not too long ago where a woman challenged the Home Office with the principle of having a third option on a passport being gender neutral, i.e. not specifying male or female. The Supreme Court ultimately ruled that that would cause confusion, disrupt the system, and ultimately needed to indicate male or female on the passport, and declined the option to have a third option for gender neutral, and so ultimately that challenge failed. Just a couple of days ago, Primark was reported to installing women-only signs outside changing rooms for customers who self-identify as females, among a backlash over any gender facilities. This coming after a woman complained about how a man burst into the changing rooms on her. The signs fitted by Primark say these fitting rooms are for women only. We also have any gender fitting rooms available for everyone. Please ask. This is certainly one way about being inclusive of everybody, by having a separate space that anybody can use. Just last year, a press release from the Department for Levelling Up Housing and Communities insisted that all public buildings are to have separate male and female toilets. In other words, the government had rejected gender-neutral toilets in public buildings, insisting that they instead have single-sex male and female toilets on the basis that indicates that gender-neutral toilets are not safe for women and girls. Notwithstanding this, however, the Daily Mail reports that NHS hospitals have spent more than £800,000 on 740 gender-neutral toilets since 2018, and more alarmingly, just a few years ago, The Times no less writes that a girl was called selfish for wanting girls-only toilets at school. So as I say, this is an ongoing debate. There are a number of issues, there are a number of different viewpoints, many of which you may agree or disagree with, but at the moment, World Athletics has taken one step and banned transgender female athletes competing at international levels. And of course, I will follow up with more information as and when it unfolds. In the meantime, please hit the like button and subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.